Welcome back to another exciting episode of Galatea Kills Everything, your #1 rated daily weather program from the lovely city of Metropolis, where Galatea kills everything. Tonight we're on a remote assignment with our distance correspondent, Galatea, down here in Dakota City at the MetaHuman Clinic, where it looks like the Fearsome Five are causing a bit of a ruckus for the local citizens, folks. Yikes! These guys are traditionally enemies of the Teen Titans, but they do show up in other places every now and again, and this is definitely one of those places. This is the biggest bounty in the area by far. This is a timed bounty, so make sure you pay attention to that clock up in the corner, because if you're not done before it is, you're done whether or not it is. Now, a couple of things to bear in mind for this bounty. This is a mess of a fight if you're doing it solo. There's no shame in waiting for the bounty train, and the bounty train does come through here pretty regularly since this is relatively relevant content. It is early end game, but that only means that we're going to have a lock on our CR. No real other big surprises there. Now, one of the other big things to bear in mind here is you are going to have to fight all 5 of the Fearsome Five throughout the course of this bounty, but you're only going to start with 3 of them on the field. The 3 that start on the field are going to be random, so there's no guarantees that you're going to get the most ideal of arrangements. The other thing to bear in mind here is every single one of them is going to use their mechanics from their individual fights in this area when they fight you. That means Gizmo's going to summon his turrets and his little robot guys. Dr. Light's going to hit you with all those beam attacks. Mammoth is going to keep rushing at you. Jinx is going to lock down the area with all those AoE attacks. All those fun things. These can be quite troublesome if you stack them all together at the same time. So I do recommend that you go ahead and pick one guy and focus on them first. That's really what you want to do in this situation. Whoever it is you're going to fight first, you're going to make sure that you get rid of them. Now, when you get rid of that person, whoever's left on the bench, they are going to move onto the field, and you're going to have to deal with that particular set of mechanics as well. Another thing to note here, if you get rid of somebody who has a persistent mechanic like Gizmo, who summons things like turrets and robots, you will have to kill those independently before they are off of the field. But once they are dead, they will not continue to spawn, as he has already been defeated. This does create a number of challenging scenarios. There's no one right way or wrong way to approach this fight, but the one thing that is consistent is that it is a difficult bounty to solo. You will have to have your mitigation on point. You will have to have your damage output on point in order to get through this by yourself. Normally, people fight this one as a team, and it's not too rough when you're doing that, especially as it has been moved into early end game now. But as a solo, it is still quite potent and quite rough to deal with. My advice to you, again, make sure you stick the landing on that whole mitigation and damage output thing. Maintain consistent output against one target, but also be mindful of your other targets. Like, for example, if you start with Mammoth on the field, it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and get him off the field just so he's not shoving you around into the other mechanics. If you have Gizmo on the field, kill him so that he's not continuing to summon ads while you're fighting. Those would probably be my personal 2 picks for the ones that you want to get rid of first. And then afterwards, Dr. Light, Jinx, Simon, they're all relatively easy to deal with because you don't have to deal with quite as much guff from the other ones at that point in time. Now, if you can manage to beat this one solo, there is the standard reward package. We're looking at that 8 marks and that lovely box, which can contain anything from gear so you can make your character better, grind them up for some of those exobytes, and even some of the local area furniture for your base items there. Most of the base items here are things like subway signs and stuff like that, so if you're going for a city feel inside of your base, this is a great place to do shopping for that. Well, after we have the Fearsome Five defeated, we're on to our next trick. And remember, folks, there's no wrong way to do this one as long as you make it through okay. Stay safe. Thank you for joining us for this very special episode of Galatea Kills. And remember, only you can kill bad guys. Have a good night, folks.